So it's going to continue forwards, 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 and then into the pterygopalatine fossa. And it's going to work its way through to the ganglion, and when it gets to the ganglion, no synapse, but it itself is going to send off different fibers heading down each of these nerves leaving. So one for the pharyngeals, one to the lesser palatine nerve, one to the greater palatine nerve, posterior alveolar nerve, infraorbital nerve, anterior alveolar and middle alveolar nerves. And then what you have is an alternative pathway, okay, for going to your lacrimal. For the sympathetic, it's alternative. This doesn't always happen, but this is just an alternative which they can sometimes use a route example. So I'm going to put it here in the dashed line, okay, to say this. So sympathetic, so it's orange, but it's alternative. They don't always use this route. So the main route for lacrimal is coming from up there, your lacrimal artery. This is another route, which is climbing up along that lacrimal nerve. Okay, extension. The other ones which we need to know about are these. So here I will have one which is going to go up like that. It's an alternative route from your long ciliary nerve up to join that branch of the sympathetic, and also from there heading down into the ciliary ganglion. So that concludes the sympathetic. That concludes the sympathetic ganglion of the head and neck now. So just to cover that again, everything stems from superior cervical ganglion. It's going to go up, it's going to find a local blood vessel. From that blood vessel, it's going to work its way up to where it needs to go. On the furthest point north, this is the equivalent of the sympathetic nerve's John O'Groats, is Mueller's muscle. Mueller's muscle right there, which is behind the tarsal plate. It's got a long way to go, so it's going to work its arterial way there and also tag onto nerves as well. What I'm going to now go and do is I'm going to show you how wonderfully we've all done. And if we look here, what we have now is that on the board. And with your help, we've done this together. So, I'll show you the main structures that we drew on the board. And then we went on to draw the actual cranial nerves, the anatomic divisions of them. And that's 3 coming in there, 5, 7, and 9. We then went on to talk about the parasympathetic ganglion. 1, which is my submandibular ganglion, otic ganglion, pterygopalatine ganglion, ciliary ganglion, all 4. I bet you if I had given you that picture at the beginning of our series of head and neck videos, you would have run a mile. But hopefully you're some way to understanding that now. If not fully understand it, we'll be interested in your feedback. This is a table that I made together with the prof. And what we have here is a summary table which summarizes everything about parasympathetic ganglia that you ever wanted to know but were too afraid to ask. And it's just basically a table which goes along like this. So here's my 4 parasympathetic ganglion: otic, pterygopalatine, submandibular, ciliary. It tells you the cranial nerve, which is associated with each. And remember in Sean's rule, the parasympathetic root, where that parasympathetic is coming from, glossopharyngeal, facial, oculomotor. The sympathetic root, where it's coming from, postganglionic. A sensory root, and the motor root, and then also the structures which are innervated by these things. That concludes our series of videos on head and neck anatomy. We hope you've gained a lot more knowledge from these series of videos, and if you'd like us to do any more, please do not hesitate to just drop us a line on the contact details below, and we'll see what else we can rustle up for you. Thank you very much.